must face the fact that it is a sad experience at this stage of the 20th century to have to stand in the city that has been known as the cradle of liberty, that has in its midst and in its presence a kind of Berlin Wall to keep the colored children of God out.
Girard College happened on May 1st, 1965. I don't know how Jack knew about that because it was supposed to be a secret. Jack was there constantly, so he shot this day, and it was a beautiful photograph because, you know, there's policemen in their uniforms, the top brass were there, and it was kind of cool. Yeah, but at the same time, he also shot the brutality of some of the things that broke out while they were demonstrating for that 7 months and 17 days. And he shot things all around the city from an observer's point of view, not from a participant's point of view. It was a beautiful way that he was there.
Jack's photographs, he photographed Sammy Davis Jr., Harry Belafonte. He photographed the known people and the community people, the lawyers, the domestic workers, and not from afar. He photographed, he was right next to them. So he was in lockstep with the people in the community and the noted figures in the larger world. So when we think about the notion of Black Lives Matter as a movement, he knew it then.
Sometimes he was on the ground at the March on Washington, from Selma to Montgomery. But he also was there for small acts of resistance that happened in Philadelphia every day. Those are the moments that 50 to 100 years down the road, it becomes arguable if those moments ever existed without this documentation. And we can't let our history become arguable. There are actually 500,000 images in the collection, which is just staggering and amazing. When you think about one person taking this many photographs, and that includes not only the prints, but there's contact sheets, negatives, slides. There's even some ephemera that he collected over the years from different events that he attended, different pamphlets and programs and things like that. So it really does take a complete picture of the life of this very important photographer. Jack Franklin was born in 1922 in Philadelphia. He went to Simon Gratz High School. He actually joined the Army right out of high school and was a photographer during World War II while serving in the Army. It was when he returned back to Philadelphia that he started doing staff and freelance work for the different publications throughout the city. These are the publications that were how we really understood what was happening in the Black communities. It was not through the mass media, it was through the Tribune and Jet and Ebony. Jack Franklin was making those images accessible from the beginning.
When you have a calling, you have to do it. This is a photo of my Uncle Vincent, my Uncle Jackie's older brother, and here's Uncle Jackie in his glory. We knew that if there was going to be a Black Panther rally, my Uncle Jackie would be there. We knew if someone was having their 70th birthday, he would be there. He was always trying to get the best shot, and he was going wherever there was a shot to be taken. I think he was interested in people because we came from a family where everyone was interested in people. You had to socialize. You belonged to a church, you belonged to a community, and you did volunteer work. So that's part of his birth DNA.
Jack allowed people to be the witness to the event. He has photographs where people can look at them and pick themselves out from 20 years ago. I've seen pictures of myself in 1964, 65 in a reception somewhere in the audience talking to someone. So there was no boundary that Jack set aside to say, I'm not going to go beyond this point. Jack didn't have any boundaries in the way he approached people with his camera.
I think he thought that he should give those photographs and let people decide if they really meant something to history, Black history. Should they be taken seriously? We took them seriously, but should the world take them seriously? And he would let the future decide if his stuff was relevant or not.
It's relevant. It's relevant to our mission, it's relevant, and it's also important that we honor ourselves that way. People are of value, regardless of their commercial value. People have an intrinsic human value. And I think the man on the street going to work or people getting off from work, tired at the end of a day, they are valuable to the continuity of our experience as people. So when you can see people about their business of being human beings, Jack's collection is full of that kind of stuff. You find nothing but people who are people being people.